All in favor of the minutes, signify by saying aye. Aye.
I abstain.
Okay, and with one abstention, Alderman Roberson. Okay, we've got that out of the way. Now for citizens' comments. John, there you are. I was wondering where you were. I thought you were going to sit over
Let the
here.
ladies go first.
Okay, well,
I'm
we'll.
trying to stay out of the camera.
I got you. Okay. Well, okay,
The
we'll
voice
come
the
back.
radio loves.
We'll come back to you. Kathy.
Gerald.
Yes, Gerald. Okay. And that's at Clearview Circle. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Welcome to our committee, and we're certainly glad for you to come.
Yeah, glad to be here. Glad to be here. We came to talk about the Main Street and Clearview Circle
Okay.
entrance, and because we've lived in Oaks, I've been there for 30 years. She's been there over 50, and traffic just keeps getting worse, worse, and worse. And we take our lives in our own hands getting out of our subdivision. So, like tonight, I mean, they get in the turning lane for Sanders Ferry before
Right.
they come across the bridge. And,
It's totally blocked.
yeah, we've just got to have some kind of resolution for safety for all of our residents that live on Clearview Circle. Now we're dealing with, the construction on Old Chapel. So, we're blocked either way we go. So that's really what we're here for. We just want to see if we can come up with some kind of resolution to help us enter and exit our subdivision safely. I've been there, like I said, for 30 years. I was here in 94, and actually, because my husband we had only lived in our house a year, and he got hit there.
Okay.
And so I came to y'all, and y'all put a double yellow line in there, but nobody's paying attention to it. They still are coming across that bridge in the turning lane, for the Sanders Ferry light. So we would like to actually ask, I think I've talked to Mark about this, but, if maybe just put a do not block intersection painted on the road. But, for us, I think the safest thing would be is if there's some way to just bring Clearview Circle out at that Sanders Ferry light right there. That would definitely be the safest thing for all of us, since the traffic is getting, it's not going to change. It's just going to continue to get worse.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's something that's you're able to do, or if we could look at that and see if it's possible to
Okay.
bring that out at that light. That would definitely end our aggravation, wouldn't it, Mary Ann?
It definitely would. Even if an ambulance tried to go in there, they couldn't. There's no way. It's totally blocked. Today, I tried to get out of my subdivision to come to this meeting. I could not get out. I turned around off of Gallatin Road, went over to New Shackle Island. I could not get out. I've only been here maybe 5 minutes, and I left it a little bit after 4:30.
My goodness.
Could
Okay.
not get out on either side of Clearview of our subdivision.
Yeah.
Sarah, I'm familiar with it because now, since we've been talking about it, but I've seen it. Have we even looked at that yet at all? Or
We didn't look at that request specifically. The request that we received and evaluated was the request for the do not block intersection pavement markings, which is on the agenda for discussion, of course.
Okay.
As far as the additional access point there, we would have to investigate that. The point where it would line up with that intersection is core property currently, so.
all right, well, we'll talk about it on item A3A, and then we'll get we're going to talk about that.
Okay.
Go ahead. You want to speak?
Ms. Huggins,
Here you go.
Ms. Huggins, did you want to speak?
Want to say anything else?
Anything at all?
Well,
Um,
we would appreciate any
Okay.
work that y'all could work toward getting an answer to this
Okay.
problem. We definitely appreciate it.
We'll be talking about it in
Especially
just
at
a
my age,
second. Yes.
if an ambulance was trying to get in there, they
Oh,
couldn't.
Lord, yes.
And plus, my husband has health issues as well. So, like I said, everybody's kind of up in age in that neighborhood, and yeah, we just need a resolution to it.
Okay. Well, we'll be talking about it shortly, and if you all have any questions at that time,
Mhm.
we're pretty lax here in our committee. I know other committees are not, but if you do, just let me know, like either raise or just text me or say,
Okay.
I've got something
Okay,
to
do you
add.
have a card with your phone number on it?
I do in my vehicle. I do not have it in tonight's committee. I'm sure I think I did. I did not. But I've got it in my car, so I'll get you a car.
Okay, 194 Clearview Circle, just.
Yes,
put
ma'am.
my mail.
All right, well, I'll do
We'll
it.
just get one
Yeah.
when we leave the meeting.
Okay, that's fine. I've got your address here anyway. But, okay, so Mary and, Kathy and Mary have spoken. Karen,
Yeah,
do
I'm
you,
fine, too.
I know.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm just here to understand what maybe some of the resolutions are for the intersection with Indian Lake and
Okay.
Lake Terrace, the Meadows, whatever.
sure, okay.
That's what I'm
yeah.
just kind of interested to find out before I have anything to really add to that.
Okay, well, we're gonna be, speaking about that here in just a second. Probably within the next 5 minutes or so. And Matt, are you here for that?
Yes.
Same thing, okay. And the same thing for you guys go, that when we're talking about it, if you guys just let me know. And, we'll talk about it then. Okay, now, John,
Yes.
save the best for last. So.
Oh,
what you
yeah, you're misleading everyone.
got? Okay.
John Tungate, I live at Stop 30 and Flint. I've got the old house that was originally there. And y'all installed a street light,
Okay.
which I guess is the best way to describe it. Is actually it's now my yard light. They have tried to work on trying to improve the situation. At first, when the light went in, it measured at like 400,000 looms. It's intense. It basically just lit up everything. They put a diffuser on it, and what's the other thing that y'all?
The shield. Like
The
a-
shield
yeah,
kind of
cutoff.
deal. So now it's like a flash light, not a flashlight. It's like a camera flash that just never goes off, and then it's a very intense spotlight in my yard. There's some great pictures. And this is with the leaves still on the tree. It does a great job of illuminating the house. And the other side we've discovered is it's disabled some of the motion sensors on the cameras because of it. And now people can walk onto my front porch without any of the motion detectors or cameras operating at this point. So it's not fun. Please take it down. It's pretty bad. And if you'd like to see any of the pictures before or after, on my phone.
All right, Sarah, has anyone been out there to look at that issue?
We have.
And have you come up with any kind of possible or a resolution to it, or what's the thought process of your office, of the Public Works Department?
So from the Public Works perspective, once they installed, prior to the diffuser and the shield, it was extremely bright, and it was definitely some light trespass issues. After that, it does provide what we believe to be a good downcast. So as he said, like it's kind of like a spot down on the ground. You can see the circle of the light on the ground.
Okay.
Staff evaluated it before dawn and believed that it had sufficiently addressed the issue. So this has, and we'll discuss this later, of course, but this did go back through Public Works Traffic and Parking Committee, and now is here for discussion as well.
Okay, well, we'll hit that, I guess, is item B for under 3.
That's right, yes.
Okay, all right, good. And John, is all like I said to everyone else, we're pretty lax here in this committee. It's if you have something you'd like to say, if you'll just get my attention, you'll get recognized. Okay. Now we've got is there anybody that wants to speak on citizens' comments? Hearing none, we'll move on. Approval of the minutes, ordinances or resolutions tonight. Believe it or not, we do not have any, which is good.
Quick meeting.
That's well, I don't know about the famous last words. Now we're on to other agenda items. We'll go with our trash collection update.
This is not very riveting. This is the lowest, I think, reported misses that we've maybe ever had. We're at 100 for the month, so that was,
That's real good.
it's very low. Nothing exciting there.
Yeah.
There's a round of applause.
I mean, I was up on Saturday like it's, well, I was up earlier than that, but I looked out the window like, I think it was like a 7:30, and my trash was gone, you know. And we usually get it. They usually hit us on Neptune at about, 9:30 or 10, but they were already, I mean, it was gone. I didn't even hear them. Usually you can hear them, but so I was like, wow, couldn't believe that. They didn't even bother the animals that we got. I mean, Andy didn't even bark, or Georgie didn't meow or anything. So, yeah, oh yeah, the deer, yeah, they were still in the backyard by the lake. So,
I would like to thank Casey for putting out for Labor Day.
Oh,
Those help, and I pass them out through Ward 6, and just to remind everybody we're skipping a day.
yes, sir.
So thank you for doing
You're
that.
welcome.
yeah,
That
we
makes a
do
big
appreciate
difference.
that because that, believe it or not, I mean, I get calls on that. Even now, we've gone through the garbage contract. There's are they going to miss us because of Labor Day? I said, yeah, they will do it until we tell you otherwise. So I do, so thank you for saying that. But yeah, because believe it or not, that's important. But we still, as Alderman, get calls on that. All right, let's go ahead and move on to we'll go ahead and hit it now with the Indian Lake Road and Lake Terrace issue of the speed. So we met our last meeting and we put it off until this meeting so we could get further information. So Sarah, I'm going to ask you to let us know
Sure.
what you found out.
Yeah, so we thank you for letting us know that sign was down. We did get that replaced.
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay. But we had our traffic engineer kind of take a second look at it based on the comments received from the last meeting. And some of the recommendations are the same. So the primary short-term recommendation would be to alleviate the site distance issue by through property maintenance and have that removed. And if that is not possible or does not work out for whatever reason, then the all-way stop control would be recommended as a short-term solution. Just to provide, that improved safety until the site distance issue can be alleviated or until a longer-term solution is implemented. Additionally, he also found that there could be some improvements to the location of that crosswalk. Where it's currently located on the north side, that it would be improved if it were located further north. I believe it was approximately 250 feet from the intersection. And with that, there also could be installed, of course, new signage at that time when it's relocated, but also could consider installing a rectangular rapid flashing beacon, the RRFB, which has a push button activation, and then it flashes for that crossing just to notify drivers that there's actively someone wanting to cross there. And so those were,
Expanding the school zone.
that's right.
Yeah, the school zone sign is currently located right on I guess it'd be the northeast corner. And by Tennessee state law, you can have those signs 500 feet from the property line of the school. So that would move it further south. Is it Meadow, or is that Indian Lake? No, it's Meadow. Is that Meadow Lake? Meadow Lake.
Yeah.
On the Meadow Lake Lake. So you'd have some advance warning that you're entering a school zone before you get to the corner.
Actually, I think that's pretty helpful. I think the flashing,
The push button flashing thing.
I like that too.
I do
Can we
too.
do that on crossing Indian Lake and crossing Meadow Lake? Both of them, because there's technically two that are a concern.
I think where your son was hit was theirs, where my son was almost hit is this one.
Right.
So they're technically two different ones. I think those are actually some pretty solid resolutions if we can do it on both of them. Great.
I don't know that it would be warranted on the side street. And I
Okay.
think part of that may be, I'm not sure if the RFPs are warranted with stop control.
It's the stop control
Yeah.
that takes away the warrant for the RRFB.
What
It has
is-
to be,
what's
it
the
has to be
stop
on,
control?
Stop sign.
there's a stop sign on those legs already.
Yeah.
Right, going,
So if you're heading east and west on those
Right.
legs, assuming Indian Lakes north and south, right?
yeah,
So
okay.
the east and west legs already have stop signs on them.
right.
So you can't put an RRFB with the stop sign.
Okay.
They're really intended for like an uncontrolled mid-block crosswalk sort of situation, which is what we're proposing to do is relocate that crossing there further up and then put the flashing beacons there so that there's an appropriate sight distance
Yeah.
to that point.
The bigger concern I have is this, the turn starts way up here. And so this is the unsafe spot where a number of kids have almost been hit because it's odd on this picture, but it's a really long turn.
Mhm.
So you make your decision to turn up here and you can't see a car there when you make your decision to turn just because of the way this goes.
Understood.
And a car, actually this Sunday, did either of you guys see the car on Sunday?
I didn't know how it got there.
Yeah, it drove up straight through this and onto the school property because it's such a weird corner if you're not familiar with it. So we were on the way to church. There was a car just up in,
Yeah.
and its
so
front end was all
it was
checked
on the
up.
school property, yeah.
And I would like to add, being the corner property owner there, that relocation of the north quadrant crosswalk that was just mentioned,
Yes.
that's across my front yard, as I understand it. And there's no sidewalk on my side of the street. It stops there at the corner. So
Right.
that would require either people walking without a sidewalk or a sidewalk construction.
Yeah.
It sounds like an extraordinary amount of money and effort compared to just putting up a couple of extra stop signs. Those things are a few $100s in 2 hours for a guy. All right. That you just said, sounded wonderful. I was over here just doing a little jig, but I'm running the numbers in my head, and that's a really expensive little project. It's not just painting because you gotta do the sidewalk.
It would have to be funded as a project, you're correct. It
Right.
would require a new sidewalk. But what the purpose of this was to define those improvements that would be most applicable
Right.
and most improve safety. And the all-way stop control, since it's not actually warranted through crash data and volume data, is not actually the best solution for this particular issue at this location. So
And to
although the signs
refresh
are
me-
cheaper,
Refresh me, the simple idea of adding 2 more stop signs.
it's considered a multi-way stop, and through the Manual of Uniform Traffic Controlled Devices,
Right.
which is a federally adopted design manual, you have to go through certain criteria to warrant a multi-way stop. And that involves a minimum threshold for volumes, and it
Okay.
has a warrant for crashes, things like that. And it did not meet any of those criteria. The only criteria it met was for sight distance, which could be addressed through our property maintenance group.
You guys only know of an incident if somebody notifies the police department.
Right,
It's
if it's reported.
So that car on Sunday,
Mhm.
I don't think, I mean, when we went by, they were working on it themselves, trying to figure out how they could get it out of
Great
there.
question. That's basically like a ghost incident.
Well, that's where I would tell you, I think there are a lot more incidents at that intersection because they're not all reported. But again, it's just my opinion.
Which is
That's-
true, and
that would-
probably most of these situations where, you have people that run off the road, things like that, and those don't get reported.
So as far as action items, where does that leave us?
There are recommendations in here to be discussed and approved. Some of them would require budget, which we don't have in place currently. So that would have to be a mid-year amendment for some of those unless this committee made a different decision.
What budget? What's the size of the project estimated?
For
what's being recommended.
For the RRFBs, those are typically anywhere between 30 and 50,000, just depending on the complexity of what has to be installed. We haven't obviously worked through that on this particular location yet. And then the additional sidewalk, how much further up that is than it is currently.
Well, $60 a linear foot,
Mhm.
plus or minus for sidewalk.
Yeah.
So it's 200 feet, 250 feet, so,
10, 12 grand.
yeah. Plus some earthwork, probably 15 to 20 on that.
Mhm.
And item 1 was cleaning up foliage. Was that?
Yes, that's for our property maintenance group, which it's already been handed over to them. That runs through the police department.
Right.
And they work through getting that site distance obstruction removed.
And you're going to pursue those two options in some way?
That's for this committee
Yeah,
to discuss.
that would be up to this committee whether we need to pursue it at our mid-year budget, or think about what the price is, and then if we choose to do it right now, then we need to see if it can be done, and that's up to the committee to decide. And if it is, excuse me, if it is, the cost would be a cost ordinance. Excuse me, guys, but then we would have to bring it to the board. Yeah, because it's a freestanding ordinance, and then it would go before. Thank you. I need this. I don't know.
And the DOT regs, most of those out, I haven't, in fact, I need to look this one up. Most of them are, include language for unusual circumstances and for, review and revision and repeal. Is there any of that there? Is there any wiggle room?
Well, I think that the consideration for always stop control, if the site obstruction cannot be removed, that is an unusual circumstance. But the MUTCD is very clear that stop control should not be used to control speed. So it's not for traffic calming. And so that's not a way to pursue a multi-way stop.
You told when you were here the last time, you had this speed sign that also like flashed their actual speed on it.
Right, yeah.
Could that, after we left the
Which
meeting, I
actually
thought,
is a calming sign.
It
I
is.
did think about that. I think that could be useful up and down that entire area.
In
because
front of your
people get
house.
really
On
fast.
front of your house going north,
That way.
just as they're coming out of the
Your
curve.
house.
Just a
Yeah,
note on
hold on a
that,
second.
those cost in the same magnitude as the RRFBs. They're about $15,000 per sign. So if you have 2 signs, one on each side of the road, you're
I found one for $5.
$30,000
They may
installed.
not meet our specifications,
So,
The one thing I did want to add that I forgot to mention is that the one thing that if this committee approved, we could do now is we could extend the school zone. The 500 feet to the south, that's a very inexpensive
That's smart.
solution that we definitely could do
Okay.
if approved. And I also did forget to mention, there was a long-term solution proposed in here for a roundabout at that location to improve safety and maintain the flow of traffic. So,
I think that's great.
and obviously that's a long-term solution, but
And a roundabout slows people down.
it does.
It slows them down.
It does.
I think it's a great idea.
You think that's a great idea?
Yeah, we don't use that corner of our yard anyway, so I'll sign it over.
It's such a
There's
big,
that part of it.
it's such a big intersection. I bet you would
He's ready to
have
give his
a
yard.
lot of the footage because it's a big, because it's so odd. It's a big space. You might be able to do it without too much.
But we're talking about a lot of money there.
Mhm.
A lot.
Yeah, that's more than 30 grand.
Oh, yeah.
So let's go ahead and go back. What does the committee? Do you all have any suggestions or
Well,
ideas?
I've got a question.
Sure.
You said that the traffic data shows no accidents.
It shows 2 in a 3-year period.
Is that one Did I hear one of you say that your child was
Yeah,
hit?
mine.
Yes, that is one of the two.
The other one was a deer.
And what's the timing of those two accidents? Are they been in the last 6 months? Are they, does it look like things are getting worse?
I don't have that information specifically.
And how close was the traffic count to justify a four-way stop?
Let me take a look real quick.
Because there's a lot of traffic on that road.
There's a lot.
Pretty busy. Which, my whole frame of reference on this is thrown off by that. Because there's so many other locations that I know are only a fraction of the vehicular traffic around the area that have four-way stops.
Just, and this is in a school zone, so does the city provide a policeman for traffic?
At the
We
entrance
do
of
at
the
the
school,
entrance of the school.
about 150 yards further north.
But not at this intersection.
Right. And I contend that the majority of the problem that we're trying to address is not during school.
Okay,
end.
okay,
It's the rest of the time.
okay.
I don't have the exact counts, but I will say typically if they're close, there would be a consideration for that. But I don't have the exact counts in the packet.
So in traffic is, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead. Ed. No,
I was getting ready to ask you to summarize for us the recommendations before we move.
Okay.
But you- go ahead.
all right, thank you, Eddie. So when it went to traffic and parking or traffic and safety, they said that it didn't warrant it, is that right? I mean, I have to ask that question because I need to cover all bases as chairman of Public Works.
Yes, our
Make sure.
traffic engineer evaluated it and made recommendations that went to traffic and parking committee, and
Okay.
it did not warrant.
All right. Okay, so, all right, do you have any issues or questions that you would like to ask or?
No,
Okay.
I like the
The process, we've got, okay. Jesse, do you have anything on this or that you'd like to say anything on it? No?
No, we've had, we're gonna have PD down there a little more too. So I think they did go down initially that night. We had the meeting. We asked them to go out there when the traffic counter was out there. So they didn't want to be out there and skew the results when they just did the traffic count. So that's why PD hasn't been out there recently. Because they didn't want to slow traffic down and not get actual data because we had a box out
Right.
there collecting the data. So I've just put it on their radar to be there more. I think, starting with step one and going progressively up is a good plan. And I think they worked through it and have a good plan.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Does anybody else have any
Can I
questions?
request that we extend the school zone in the meantime? Because I've had some complaints. It's my ward.
Okay.
I
Extend.
think 500 feet is too much. That's first.
How far do you want to extend the,
Whatever they're
for-
allowed to do.
okay, whatever they're, all right.
I think pretty much directly in front of your house on the other side.
And that's okay, isn't it, right?
Yeah.
On, Sarah, that we have the ability to do that?
We do,
Extend it, okay.
absolutely.
Will there be a flashing light?
No, it would just be a regular school zone sign.
Um,
If they extend it, they could also ticket it too, further.
Yeah.
okay. Well,
If you go just past my driveway and they have to park in my driveway, promise you, with the way that corner is, you'll have your data.
And your ticket quota for a while.
We have no.
We don't have.
we don't have a
Oh, I know.
For the record.
You'll have
For
your
the record, right.
They can't see my drive coming around.
Alderman Robertson, I'm sorry, I might have misspoke. I was thinking you were talking about the RRFB when you asked about the flasher, but if there's an existing school flasher, we would relocate that.
Is there an existing
Yes.
flasher?
There is.
So I apologize.
okay, so what we want to do is extend the, I guess, what's allowed for the school. Slow down. And then we'll just ask, if there's no objection to that, we'll just ask Public Works to you to figure out what the length is on that. I think that would be a good start on it. Now, Eddie, you said you were gonna ask Sarah what the.
Just summarize for us now the improvements that the traffic committee recommended.
Okay. I'll go ahead and start with extending the school zone, since
Okay.
that's the one we're gonna
Okay,
probably move forward with now.
okay.
Also, as previously mentioned, we'll have property maintenance work through removal of the site distance obstruction. If that cannot be accomplished, then we would recommend as a short-term solution the all-way stop control. So the stop signs. Also with that, we would recommend, if funded through mid-year, we would recommend additional sidewalk to move the existing school crossing on Indian Lake further north, approximately 200 feet. At that time, could be considered also a rectangular rapid flashing beacon to improve the conspicuity of it.
Okay.
Big word.
Sure is, big word. That's 20 bonus points.
I had to think about it.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Can I get a ballpark time frame to move the school zone, just in case I have constituents call? How long do you think it will take to make that correction?
We will have to see. We'd have to order the sign. It will take longer to move the flasher, but we could get a sign installed quicker. We could order that locally. I would say probably within the next week or two.
Okay.
We could have a school zone sign installed further south. It'll probably take us longer to get the contractor lined up to move the flasher.
So after we do those things, this would be my suggestion. Well, I'm sorry. Let me back up. Does anybody have, besides Eddie, and Mike, do you have any other things that you want to talk about on this particular issue? And then,
So your recommendations would require a mid-year budget amendment
Yes, for some.
for the sidewalk and for the sign.
That's correct.
okay, that was one of the things I was going to. Perfect. In other words.
So does our motion need to include that for the staff to consider, or for the mayor to consider putting that in his mid-year budget?
I think it could. Yes.
And we don't have a ballpark figure.
I think 30,000 is for
I would estimate
That's
for
what,
the sidewalk and the RRFB, I would estimate at least 60,000, maybe 75 for both.
Eating up our mid-year, okay. Okay.
But we could get better numbers in the meantime.
What's the possibility of getting the property, I guess the property owners have to give approval for us to cut for improving the site?
For the sidewalk?
No, for improve the site vision.
We have an ordinance that requires clear sight, so
We
that's how
used
they
it in
will.
Creekwood.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Okay. Okay.
I will entertain a motion. And if you all need some help, I can help you along the way on that.
Well, I make a motion that we implement the recommendations of the Traffic and Safety Committee. In addition, extending the school zone and preparing a budget amendment that would be considered at mid-year budget for the sidewalk and other improvements. I mean, since we've got some crash data that it is dangerous, I think that we need to move on it. So that would be my recommendation.
Okay. I need a second.
Second.
Okay, there's been a proper motion and a proper second. Any further discussion on the motion? The only thing that I would say that I think that it's been a long time coming, that okay. Oh, that's okay.
You missed the dancing.
Yeah. Get up here and start dancing. It's been a long time coming, and unfortunately, I'm just sorry that it has brought us to this point. But I think that that's a solution that, that is, solvable, and I look forward to, to working it out and see what happens. Since there's no further discussion, does anybody need the motion repeated?
Maybe, Mark, just as instructions to the staff, that after the measures have been taken, after a couple of months, come back and report
Okay.
to Public Works. on
Yeah, and Jesse have more data coming.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Let me write that down. So, because we want to make sure that everything that we discuss on this, and especially dealing with children, it's most important to us. I want to make sure that we get it right in the minutes, for all of us. So when we review it next month, or when the minutes come out and we review it, that everything's in the process, that's in there. That sounds good. So what we'll do, since there's no further discussion, all in favor of our motion that was tonight, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, passes unanimously, and we will continue to get updates on this as I would ask the Public Works Department to give the committee the updates on, what the process and how far we're along on this issue, because it is important. I know it is to you, and it is, Alderman, I know it is for your district as well. And we'll see where it goes. And I definitely know it's important to y'all because you all live there. And but I thank you all for bringing this to our attention. And when you do it right, it works. At least in this committee. I can't say for the Board of Mayor and Aldermen or any other, but we're the best committee. We always try to help people. We really, truly do.
So could we come back?
You sure can. You can come back anytime you
When
want to.
I think there will be an update in.
Well, we normally just do an update every month, but if you want to wait
Maybe
a
more
couple of
tangible
months,
from
yeah, I'd wait a couple of months, and then you can just come back and say, "Hey, Skid,
What's up?
yeah, what's going on?" Yeah,
Or your alderman could notify.
Right.
When,
Sure.
when it's on
Yeah.
public.
You can
Works.
reach
Could
me
do that.
anytime.
yeah. But either or, I mean, we're pretty easy to do that. So, does that sound pretty good? What we've decided this
Yeah, it
evening? Does that sound pretty good? What we did?
Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Yeah, that's all right.
Honesty of a child.
Yeah. At least you're honest. Okay, thank you guys for coming here, and we'll do that. All right. Oh, excuse me. There you go. All right. It's nice to see you. Okay, bye-bye. All right.
Keep us updated and maintain the continuity of this.
Yes.
That's right.
That's a great word, man. I'm gonna have to use that word. I don't know if it'll be tonight, but I
Make it more
might.
conspicuous.
I might use it at Public Works committee report or something.
I'm gonna use it on Bowman.
Yeah. Good, okay.
I recommend it.
All right.
I'm gonna give you props too.
That's, yeah. Okay, so we are now at the Traffic and Parking Committee.
All right. Well, we have 3 items from that agenda that we're discussing tonight, and those are listed A through C.
Okay, right, okay,
Um,
so, yeah, 3, okay, so there's nothing else except just those A, B, and C.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all
That's right.
Thank you. So let's move right on along, and we're getting to one that isn't concern of you guys. It's the Main Street and Cleveland Circle. So let's go ahead and hit that one.
Yes. So we received the request, as mentioned, to add do not block intersection pavement markings on Main Street.
Right,
And I will preface this by saying any recommendations from staff they're not final. Everything for Main Street has to go through TDOT because that is state right of way. So I just wanted to preface the discussion with that. And so our traffic engineer did evaluate, and he did find that pavement markings could be installed based on his interpretation of the
Okay.
METCD. And so that could be a recommendation. That's what we discussed at traffic and parking. At the committee level, the vote on that was split for staff.
Okay.
And primarily because there's a concern that installing those pavement markings could actually increase the collisions in that location because there are so many lanes. You may not be able to see if the Sanders Ferry turn lane is stacked up and you're trying to make a left out of there. May not be able to see the oncoming traffic from the west, eastbound.
Okay.
And so that is a concern to be considered. But if we wanted to pursue pavement markings and signage, that could be an option that we could present to TDOT and seek their feedback and approval on. At the committee, it was discussed that maybe the hatch marks instead of the actual words may be more beneficial because there are so many lanes. We would potentially have to put "do not block intersection" in 2 to 3 lanes. Whereas if you do the hatch marks, it's a little cleaner. But that's
Yeah.
what was discussed.
Okay. Yes, sir.
So they've already done something very similar in Rivergate, near the
It's
the
before
Conference Drive.
Yeah, it's before you get to conference.
Drive, and I drive there every week. It took a bit of a getting used to, probably about a year or so, but it seems to have worked out for the people that are there. Those people in that from those neighborhoods back there are pulling out. I'm not saying there's no accidents out there, but at the same time, I think after about a year's time and people getting used to it and thinking about it, with the exception of the MTA buses blocking the intersection, it's just letting you know it's already been done. Something similar.
Sure.
And that's even, I think it's about the same, maybe even more. So, sorry.
No,
And there-
no, I appreciate you telling me. I didn't know Nashville had done that.
There's an example of the hatch markings in front of the fire station across from Costco. If you wanted to compare, the do not enter words versus hatch marks. Like, example in this packet has the words, but the hatch marks are out in front of that fire station. So,
Okay. I don't ever go down that road, believe it or not. I usually just go down Gallatin Road all the way down to the Glenbrook entrance. Okay. Any questions from the committee?
Is this the only entrance into the neighborhood?
Well, the problem is there's another entrance too, but it's under construction right now.
For 2 years.
For Walton Ferry and,
Okay.
It's all chat.
the old shackle, Walton Ferry, the realignment there.
Gotcha.
And that's the problem right now
Gotcha.
that they have. So that, in essence, a lot of people use that at this point. When that gets done, I think people will still use that because I can remember, I've been around a long time. A lot of people use it. It's just the traffic is so bad getting on to Saunders Ferry Road, now.
Yeah.
So, and then of course it gets backed up during traffic on Gallatin Road to 31E or whatever you want to call it. And so that has an issue too. But I think just me as an individual, something has to be done really. It's just because it is a nightmare. I've seen it. I'm sorry that somebody even had to bring it up an issue, but I've been waiting for it for a while that this has been done because I've seen people have to wait there for a long time to get out.
Oh, I've had to sit there for 20 minutes to try to get out.
So,
Lifetime, you're not gonna get out. You're gonna have to go back home. I will say that.
So,
I don't care where you will go.
so what does the committee recommend at this point to do here? You know what? What does the committee recommend? That's before I say anything.
The traffic and parking committee,
Well, didn't you say they were split?
3-3.
3 to 3.
What does this committee recommend to do?
There's nothing overhead that can be done. There's no overhead lines, are there? A sign to be put overhead. It's either, it has to be on the street.
Yeah.
And what's the estimated fiscal note for that?
The pavement markings are not terribly expensive, I would say, in the grand scheme of things. Probably, if I'd estimate, probably around 3 to 5,000.
Okay, and the committee's recommended that this be temporary?
Yes, that once construction resolved
That it would be
at Old
taken
Shackle,
away.
that it would be
Okay.
removed.
That's not going to stop the traffic of coming into that turning lane going to Sanders Ferry. That's the problem that we have. Is if
The
we,
turning
yeah,
lane.
if we want to get out on Main Street, if we go around to the backside, we're still facing traffic trying to turn left. Even before the construction back there started.
Yeah.
So, it's just, and I know we've got an old neighborhood. We're probably 35, 40 houses back there, but
First subdivision in Hendersonville, and we need help.
yeah. And, the main thing is just those people that are coming across that turning lane before they even come across the bridge on Main Street. I've seen it backed up clear to the park.
Yeah. The best long-term solution for that would be a dual left turn onto Sanders Ferry that we've discussed and highlighted in our transportation capital improvement plan. Expensive, of course, but that long-term, that would be the
Like,
best solution.
I think the long term would be see if we could figure out how to make Clearview come out at that Sanders Ferry light.
Mm.
If that would even be an option, would be the safest. For
Be
all of us that live
evaluated,
back
but
there.
it is core property.
Honestly,
Yeah,
I'm not
which
sure
makes it very
because-
complicated.
Yeah, it would be
Yeah.
because then you've got that creek right there, that
Mm-hmm.
utility district, and I think they would
Also
probably have an issue with that as well.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to think. Well, how long? All right, so we've got to get the authority. We've got to get before we even do anything. We have to get TDOT to say okay that it's cool, because they may come back and say no.
Correct. Yes, that's right.
So, I guess the thing we need to do is wait until we get the okay from TDOT. I know this is slow as Christmas, but that's the way government is. And then have another meeting when we get the authority to do it, and then really figure out what we want to do.
Well, TDOT may ask the staff, do you have authority from Bowman to do this? So
Yeah.
I would think, if we're gonna go fishing, let's go fishing. Let's do what, the hash marks, and then ask TDOT. But that's your ward. I'd like to hear from what you think.
We should have authority from this committee to talk with TDOT. I think Public Works can talk with TDOT. I mean, we're talking with them all the time because you guys are working with them on the construction. They should understand, things have changed due to the construction. So this is something that's a necessity.
Yeah.
And we're fine with the hash mark. I mean, I'd be fine with that as long as it stops people from, blocking us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To just,
We definitely
Well,
can't
let's
guarantee
just-
that.
Yeah. Well, no.
So-
I mean, they're not stopping for a double yellow line.
So what Eddie's saying is we go ahead and if this is okay, because it's your ward,
Yeah.
is to go ahead and ask TDOT to do what we're doing, and then have a vote saying that we want to put the hash marks down, and then if they say okay, which I'm pretty sure they would say okay, but you never know with TDOT. I mean no disrespect by that, because they, all I can say is like synchronization project. That's all I can say about that with TDOT. But we'll have that prepared to do. Once that has passed, since we get the authority from TDOT, then we've already got a plan in place for it.
See our mayor coming out.
Is that?
Yeah, so I'd probably look for a motion that says, authorize Public Works to talk with TDOT about adding the do not block
Yeah.
striping. And if TDOT approves it, let's go ahead and do it. And then let's take a second look at the traffic assessment study that we have with the double left turn. Since the construction has come up, we have a prioritization system, and I think things have changed where that project may get moved up. So we can have the city look at that.
Okay.
If TDOT gives you in trouble, tell them to come over and sit and try to get out.
So would this require a budget amendment?
That's 2,500.
Okay, then I'll second the motion.
Okay, there's been a proper motion and proper second. And it does, just for the record, does not require a spending ordinance that has to go to another freaking committee. Probably
For the pavement markings.
Right,
Correct.
for the pavement markings. So that'll be something that we can handle in this committee. On that motion, is there any further discussion on that issue? I think that's one that works well with the residents and works well with our city and their staff on that. That's just basically all I've got to say about that. So there's been a proper motion, a proper second. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all ready to vote on the motion. All in favor of the motion that was made by Alderman Mike Martin, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay, there's no passage unanimously to do that. And then just keep us up to date. And then Mike is very good at Facebook, and he can, and then you could, like, guys can come back, and he'll probably have something listed on there of what's going on.
Okay.
What we do, I don't know. Do you guys use Facebook?
Yeah, we do.
Do you?
Yes.
Okay. It took me forever to understand Facebook, and I still
I don't know if he understands it.
I've got me a Facebook thing, but I'm very
Over there in our mayor, when we had the tornado.
Yes, ma'am.
Over in the subdivision.
Yeah, our subdivision got hit really bad.
Oh, I
It
know.
was one of the
Really
worst.
bad, and I may have to go and talk to Phil. and see what-
Yeah, it was bad.
because it was really bad over there.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was so straight wind hit.
yeah, power lines.
Yeah.
We lost some beautiful trees, but nobody got killed.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the. Okay, thank you, guys.
Do you have a card or anything?
I do in the car.
See,
Well,
that's
and
what
let me
we all
tell you, if
keep
y'all
doing.
have any pets, I own Southern Paws Pet Sitting. If you need pet care, give me a call. Been in business for 15 years.
All right.
You need some help, folks?
Go ahead and use that chair right
I'm
there.
not gonna use
Thanks.
the
Okay,
chair.
all right.
I have a
Let me
hip,
get out of the way.
bad hip problem.
There we go.
And
Yeah.
I think
Taylor doesn't help me at the end of my street.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah, because Mark
I
had
understand.
to email me too, but I think he put me in touch with you and Sarah.
All right, we'll stay in
Thank you
touch.
for your help.
So
So
thank you guys, we
All right,
appreciate it.
it's good to see you here.
Thank y'all.
Okay.
Have a good afternoon.
You too. This way.
Now we are moving on to Glenbrook Way speed limit. No, wait a minute.
Stop.
No, it's the street light at stop 30. Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry, I didn't see that. Okay, so now we need to discuss that. We kind of discussed it. Does the committee have any recommendation on this?
I've got some questions.
Okay.
Uh, That's an LED light.
Yes.
Is there any way to decrease the wattage?
It's actually the lowest lumen that they had available for a streetlight.
Okay.
It was 6,900 lumen. Is that correct? 6,900?
That's what we were told by CMC.
Uh,
70 watt.
Are there
LED.
any additional shieldings that we can do to keep change the focus of the light more toward the road than straight down that could diffuse some of the light hitting the residential property?
They put a blackout curtain on the back side of it facing the residential home, and then the diffuser is downcast to light. So that is kind of the extent of what we have available through CEMC.
We did a survey when we got ready to, the reason we put streetlights is we had some complaints from people in that area that they had no street lights. And so we did a survey. What did this survey results show for Flint and, this area for street light?
I'll let Stephen correct me if I misstate anything, but my understanding was that that Mr. Tungate had contacted Stephen, had some questions, and there were some email exchanges which I've reviewed, and he said that he was the response, it was primarily from Mr. Tongate, I think.
Yeah.
There was no other response, is that correct, for that one?
Not for that one.
Okay, specifically, so it was primarily Mr. Tongate, and that he was not opposed, and he felt that it may help the deer in his yard, and so.
So actually, I told him, sorry, you might have misheard me. I didn't want it. Now my wife, she wasn't opposed, but I didn't want it. So
Okay.
basically, yeah, I don't want it, and especially now because
I was just I recorded the nature of our conversation, which was like you were neither opposed nor against.
Right,
You're kind of indifferent about it. So
yeah,
that was how it was recorded.
okay,
So
miscommunication.
understood.
We're all human.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the where the light is doesn't even make any sense because we're literally just hundreds of feet away from where the city limits end currently. And then on the other side of the street is actually county. It's county. And sorry, my neighbors are scared of the dark. They shouldn't have moved out there. It's just, I don't, I've lived there for 20 years. It's a very quiet neighborhood. It's just, and honestly, when the moon's out, you get more light. That way, I could go into light theory and stuff like that, blaze over and stuff like that. But basically, the light is now creating a shadow effect to where you can't see beyond the light kind of deal. Like the pictures I took, the light is so overwhelming on the nighttime pictures, and I made sure I took it out on a moonless night because I didn't want to misrepresent the amount of illumination going off. But because the light is so bright, it causes a lighting effect that you cannot see beyond the light. But if you focus in on the pictures that I took in the non-shadow areas of my house, you can actually see where the light is illuminating the garage. And once the leaves fall, even with the shielding, and the placement of the shielding is, they didn't place it between the light and the residence. They placed it between the light and the pole. And it's just, now if y'all want to paint the half of the globe black, and then, but I don't see that resolving the issue simply because of the way the globe is placed down. It's really just pointing at my yard is the way it is. And, we've talked and there's no way for them to aim it because of the particular type of light it is. And it's just, it's pretty unpleasant to have. And once the leaves fall, it's going to be lighting up the front of my house pretty badly. And it's just going to make, one motion camera is not working now. So I imagine the other ones will, once the light starts affecting them.
How long will we have that light there?
Roughly a month, I believe.
Yeah.
A month.
Month and a half, maybe.
that's
Probably early to mid-August, maybe,
I'd have to
or
check.
maybe July.
No,
It seems like it was in
it was
August.
pretty much the night that it came in. We were like, what the heck?
You already put
Roughly
a
a
cutoff
month.
on it and everything?
okay.
You put a cutoff?
Yeah, like the backside of the light.
Yeah.
Yes, they installed, CMC installed that. We had requested that with the diffuser. So,
What does the committee recommend?
The committee recommended that the light remain, since it is on stop 30, which is a collector. And our street lighting policy does provide for street lights at intersections.
Right, yeah.
Did the other neighbors complain about Have you heard any other complaints? Or have we heard?
It
any
would just be
complaints?
Mr. Larry would be the other one. I mean, our yards are huge, like an acre each. But he's already getting his windows tinted.
I did not.
And I don't think they've been upset with the city for the past, since they got annexed. But my understanding was with that annexation lawsuit that occurred, that they weren't gonna put any streetlights in on the Arrowhead subdivision.
We weren't able to locate any of that in the documents that was brought up
Right.
through the survey process, I believe it was.
So is there precedent for this, putting up a street light, residents complain about it, take it down? Is there precedent?
I'm not aware of a precedent for that.
Yes, I never remember.
You take it down, it might be a liability issue for the city.
Well, that's what I
I don't know if we're ready to do anything. I'd like to look at maybe pictures and maybe drive by it between now and our next public works meeting.
Yeah.
See
Yeah, I'd
what's
definitely
going
like to see the pictures. And probably drive off over there.
Yeah.
And just see.
This is what it looks like with the shielding and everything on there.
Is that from stop 30 or from your home?
That is from stop 30 year. That's actually looking towards my house. And just to give you an idea of how intense, so basically that's how intense the light is. So imagine that from my side of it. And then
So your house is right here?
this is my house right here.
Okay.
And then like blow up on the garage, you can actually see that it's actually illuminated, even with the shielding and all that stuff. And that it's an optical illusion because of this light is so intense, the camera can't filter in. In fact, with this picture and then with one of the older pictures,
Yeah.
This was staff's before and after.
yeah.
The before is on the left and the after.
So this is with it not having the intense globe on it to where it causes the optical illusion. Basically, it still looks like that with the globe. Kind of put it. So it looks like in a way that it's improved, but because of the way the globe is, it's still the same. It's
Well, if the picture don't do it justice, why don't we just drive by there between now and our next meeting and
feel free.
kind of see it for ourselves?
Yeah, let us take a look
Knock on my
at
door.
it.
Say hi. But yeah, I mean that's
All right.
You know,
Give us some time to look at it.
Yeah, because I think this is an issue that we have to, because it's like what's the old saying, a case of first impression, really, in terms of, because we've never taken one down, ever. I mean,
and I know I'm asking a lot.
one, well, to me, that's, I mean, for you, yes, but that's not what the issue is I want to make sure that we do things right.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that we've never done that before, but that's why I want to really look at it, and I want to make sure that I'm on solid ground on when I make a decision, because I don't want to be, you know, I don't want to make a decision that I'm not feeling comfortable in. I mean, I don't know of an alderman that would.
Right.
So let's put it back on the agenda.
We'll do
Next
that.
month.
Let's just put it on next month, and that'll
discussion.
give us all three of us an opportunity to go out there and look at it.
Sounds good.
We'll get some ice cream or something and Sonic and drive off out there.
I
And,
guess I'm the only alderman that has business cards, but I've got you.
yeah. Yeah, why you
Happy
always up there all these other cards, man?
Oh
man.
Oh my gosh.
Doesn't get any more conspicuity than this.
Oh, man, yeah.
So
Yeah, that's a lot.
when I was looking through Hendersonville codes, I didn't
Yeah.
see anything about traffic street requirements. Like I went through every code I could possibly find, and I found
Yeah.
Nothing regarding that. You know, I hear, oh, it's our procedure, but that's,
Right.
it's not, I couldn't find it.
It's not written
Right.
or in the, it's not
It's not
codified in the
codified,
ordinance.
yeah, correct. So that's why I was just like,
Codification, that's
I'm like really sitting here going,
There you go.
you know, another good word.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come back with, I don't have spiders.
Well, okay, we're gonna put it on and we're gonna just go ahead and put you on notice now that we're meeting next month at, what, on the,
Let's
The
look.
fourth Tuesday.
Yeah. Find that date.
which will be October.
28th. So, yes, thank you. The 28th at 5 o'clock.
Whoop, let me figure out how to put that on my calendar. All right,
Right. And that'll give us plenty of time to go out there and look at it.
28th, 5 o'clock.
Whose word is that?
Yes.
That's what it says. And we just paved your roads a couple years ago. So
Yeah.
Well,
I should,
Yeah.
Oh, I know
You
we
may
did.
get your card back.
yeah,
I know.
no. Yeah, Flint and Crossbow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't affect me. I'm on.
Yeah.
My road is actually stop 30, which they've done
Repairs.
repairs. That reminds me, when they did the repair work across the street, they collapsed the ditch. So in the median, you have this little foot tall berm on the side, and then it goes straight down. And since I have mow across the street for the farmer, could y'all like
We'll look at it.
fix that somehow?
We'll take a look.
Guys with some shovels, because the mower gets stuck.
Okay.
Yeah, just not trying to add to your to-do
No,
list,
you're good.
because it sounds like y'all got it.
Okay,
Okay,
we'll go ahead and put this on for the agenda for October 28th. And that'll give us, like I said, it'll give us an opportunity to go out there and take a look and make a proper decision that we're all feel comfortable with.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you, John. We appreciate you bringing this to our attention.
Yeah, thank you for hearing me out. I
Not a
feel like
problem.
y'all got like a lot of things on your plate.
We always do, but it doesn't bother us. So we just keep moving on along. Speaking of moving on along, now we're on to the Glen Brook Way speed limit.
Yes.
All right.
So we received a request to add more speed limit signs to Glenbrook Way, but when we were reviewing it, we found that there were no speed limit signs.
Right.
And so our traffic engineer went ahead and did a speed study
Right.
and found that the 85th percentile warranted a speed limit of either 35 or 40. So it was recommended to traffic and parking that the speed limit be set and signed at 35. Through those discussions at traffic and parking, it was also split. Some of the
What, 33?
33.
Okay.
Some of the committee members felt that it should be 30, but the data didn't warrant 30. So that would require an ordinance.
But it has been 30.
As the default, it has been 30, but not signed at 30. So to sign it as something different than that, it would need to be warranted through a speed
That's a
study.
pretty traffic congested thoroughfare,
It can be.
thanks to Chick-fil-A and,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, it can be bad.
Yeah.
So what does the data show?
The data shows, so speed limits are to be set within 5 miles per hour of the 85th percentile speed, which I believe was 37. Is that right?
You go see the 37 or 38.
Yeah.
Or it's 37 one direction, 38 the other,
So,
something like that.
yeah. So 85% of drivers are already exceeding
The speed limit.
what
Or
could be the
what
posted speed limit
posted
at
speed limit
35.
At that time, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Basically, it's out of every 100 drivers, 85 are going at or below that speed. 15% would be in excess of that speed. So that 15% would be or technically considered speeding if you're establishing the 85th. That,
Yeah.
you know,
Did they
35.
also look at how many accidents that we've had or anything like that coming out of Target, Kroger's, and all that in there, and Chick-fil-A. Or is it just primarily just the speeding or the vehicle going down Glenbrook Way?
He did review the crash history. Found the vast majority of crashes were drivers pulling out of access driveway and collided with vehicles already traveling on Glenbrook Way. So that probably is why they recommended the low end
Yeah.
of the
30.
5 mile per hour range
Yeah.
at 35 miles per hour.
35, okay.
Which alderman brought this up?
This was a resident request, not
Says
resident citizen.
It says,
Oh,
an alderman in the news contacted me asking about the alderman.
that's a good question. I thought it was,
Was this a resident request?
thought that it was, but I may be
That's
incorrect
okay.
about
I
that.
don't mean
No, you're fine.
It certainly wasn't
It was
me.
Alderman
Wasn't
Evans, I
me.
believe.
I don't know.
Evans?
Was it?
I thought it was Alderman Evans.
Okay. Sorry, I was incorrect on that.
Yeah, no
Alderman
worries.
Evans.
There were 56 collisions in a 3-year period,
Said he didn't do it.
for what
Okay.
that's worth. That's between Forest, what is it,
The issue on that road is
Andrews
really
Run.
Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
and Glen.
With the traffic that backs out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Onto the-
I think probably that actually that's probably true.
Um,
And then
I
there
don't think it's a
also,
speeding issue. I think it's Chick-fil-A. Which will get relieved as soon as they finish their new facility.
yeah,
We're going to just go ahead and put in the 35 mile an hour sign for the recommendation. Is that
yeah, I mean,
something we have money to do?
Absolutely.
We don't have to do any budget requests or anything.
No.
how do y'all feel comfortable with that?
The
I mean, I-
35.
Yeah,
I think that's the most defensible speed limit.
yeah, I think that it is the restaurant, and I think that also that entrance and exit that's going out of Kroger's, I think that's an issue too. I really do, but I mean, because the rest of them, I've been dealing a lot with the bank lately at Regions, just because of my sister and mom passing away, and I've been over there a lot, trying to get things done, and I've really not had, to be honest, but I hadn't been at peak hours, so I don't, I can't really say that that's an issue. But as far as coming out, I can see people having an accident because I think 35 is a good spot to put a sign.
Is there a business HOA for
There
this
is.
area?
Yes, there is.
And do they have decorative signs, don't they?
They do.
So will we ask them if they will pay for the post that we'll put the signs up?
We could propose that, definitely.
Yeah, we don't want to just put angle iron
Yeah.
up and not match the rest of the business development there.
Yeah, I think Mike would do that. I think he would understand that. I would
They
know.
might.
And if he doesn't, let me know because I'll talk to him.
Okay.
Straighten them out.
Yeah, I don't know if I can straighten him out, but he's I've always had good luck. He's a good guy to me. Anything I've ever asked him for help on, he's always helped, and his company has done well. They got the Best Buy in there, and and he's very good at what he does. But I think he probably would understand that. So if you need somebody to call him, I'd be more than happy to do it.
Thank
'Cause I
you.
talk to him quite often.
Thank you.
He's a good guy. And okay, so I don't know if does a motion need to be made, or can we just direct you to do that, or would you rather have a motion, or
You can
just
just
it?
direct, since that's based on the data.
Okay.
If we were to
And
do
I'll
something
double check
different.
with Evans, but I spoke with him, I think today actually, to ask him very much about this. And I think he told me, and maybe I misheard him, but I'm going to ask him again tonight. I think he did that, so I don't know whether it was just a complaint from a resident or what, I don't know, so. But
You did it? He raised his hand.
you do it?
That wasn't me.
Yeah, okay.
I just there's one thing to add.
Yes.
The split was kind of half of us were feeling the 30, but I think in the end we all kind of came to the same realization that to be the most defensible for the city and to for our police officers just to back them up, I think we all kind of settled on that 35 as the defensible. So I think we came to an agreement on that. Just for what's worth.
Well, it is, because I was curious, how that came about. So with no objection, we'll just ask you to do what we just talked about,
Okay.
to do that, and direct the public works to do that, to fix it. Let's see.
Okay.
And we'll just see where it takes us, and,
After the other Chick-fil-A opens up, I think.
yeah, I think you're gonna, Henderson's getting so large, who knows,
It is.
I think after Chick-fil-A the other one opens up, you might see an increase in the speed in there. Because most of the accidents I see through there is where that other access road pulls out near Panera or something like that. That's usually where I see
Yeah.
the accidents occur.
So one last question, with all the accidents that's happened there, would that justify a lower speed limit with the 50-something accidents in the last 3 years?
I don't think it would justify a lower speed limit, just because it really does need to be set on the 85th percentile for what people are traveling. Setting it at the low end of that, I think, is the conservative approach. Beyond that, I think that additional enforcement could be helpful along that roadway for those that are not exercising due care.
Okay, thank you. That's all.
All right, thank you. All right, well, we've settled that, and let's go on to Rolling Acres entrance signage.
Yes, this is one we attempted to discuss last month, but Alderman Robertson was out of the country enjoying himself. So their
He's having
question.
some spaghetti.
That's right. The question was raised about whether the decorative sign grant ordinance could be used to help with the repair replacement of the entrance signage for Rolling Acres. And so I did pull that ordinance and review it, and it's pretty specific to street signs and pole replacement. And it's based on a reimbursement for costs expended that would align with our contract rates for traffic signs.
Okay.
So I found that probably would not be.
It wouldn't work.
It probably would, even if we said it was applicable, it wouldn't be very helpful because it would be $50 reimbursement was typically around what we spend for a street sign.
And we don't want to get in the business of repairing neighborhood decorative signs.
No, we don't.
And I used to represent that area in Ward 3 many years ago. I just used to represent it. And man, that thing was always getting tore up. I mean, it was awful. And it's going to cost. So I don't know if the city's ready for anything like that over there off New Shackle. So,
yeah.
You have any thoughts on it, boss?
No, I agree. Alderman Robertson.
Yeah, I do too. All right. Well, you guys what do we need to do? Take action here? Do we need to take action or just?
I think the response just could be that we're not interested in obtaining an easement to maintain that sign.
Yeah. Who brought that one? Do you know?
That was a property owner.
Okay. The one on the right or left, or do you know?
I think when you're going in, I think it's the one on the right. I think that's the one that's damaged.
Okay. Okay. Good deal. All right. Thank you for bringing that up. And let's go on now to the world famous light synchronization project.
No new update. We're waiting on the obligation of funds from FHWA. So that's TDOT submitted that request. Once we receive that, we'll be able to receive our notice to proceed to construction and bid the project.
Okay.
But we are waiting on them.
So we're waiting on TDOT, right?
Yes.
Basically.
Indirectly, yes.
Okay. All right. And then Creekwood subdivision?
Yes, that was request. We added that as a discussion item to follow up on a request for the traffic calming
Yeah,
along Creekwood Lane. And when we discussed this previously, we were going to mail letters, which those have been mailed
okay.
to all of the residents in Creekwood to seek input, whether favorable or not, for the lane line markings that were
Okay.
discussed previously. So we're awaiting feedback. They'll have a 30-day comment period.
30 days, okay. All right, any question on that issue?
No, I got a couple of calls on this when the letter, and I saw the letter, so, this is a good procedure. We don't want to take action just based on one person, request. So this is a good way to understand the consensus. So,
All right,
good. Maybe next meeting we can put it back on because that'll be the 30 days, right? So you
Yes.
can give us a report.
all right.
And
Yeah.
once the feedback comes back, let's say it's positive, how long would it take to do that, Sarah?
That's just the timeline for the contractor to put it on their schedule. Typically 2 to 4 weeks,
Okay.
depending.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll put that on the agenda for our next meeting.
Oh, one last thing.
Yes, yes, sir, go ahead.
I understand that we budgeted some money for a new traffic measuring device.
Yes.
Have we got that equipment in yet?
Yeah.
I would like, because we've had Mr. Little twice complain about speeding.
Mhm.
I would like for us to test using that equipment an additional time
Okay.
for Creekwood Lane and make that part of the next month's report. So I guess I'm responding to his complaint by, let's do another study. Let's look to see what it looks like.
Okay. We can do
That's
that.
fair enough.
Okay.
I think he will be interested in it. So we'll put that down and we'll just give that report at our next meeting as well.
Okay.
Now we're on to other business. Any other business at all? Anything going on? No. All right.
Motion to adjourn.
Abstain.